Flaming heck, Homebrew Wednesday, and it's all a rush. Right, first things first, the most important thing, I need a freaking bed. Even if it is an old one. Ooh, shut that door. Gotta get this down first. I'm gasping. Right. I managed to acquire some hops from the house where I used to be working at, which I've just now gone back to do a little finishing off. And there's a nice flurry of hops. I'll show you them now while I clear this mess here. Same variety as I've got at home. You can see, good sized cone. Now we'll compare it with mine at home. Yeah, so we had those little hops. Didn't have a chance to show you, but I got, while I was clearing the site up, loads of little hops have took seed in the shingle driveway, and have grown little shoots and little rootlets and were quite easy to remove because they were only bedded in shingle and a light sand base. So I managed to pull them out with a fair bit of the root intact, and I think, I don't know, there's at least 8. They're very young, only just sort of grown a foot or so. Some of them are not even that long. So obviously they're not going to do anything this late in the year compared to the other ones on the gate, which you saw in the footage, as long as my phone video is matched up with my editing software. So anyway, I've excavated those along with some other little bits, but I run out of time tonight to try and pop them up quickly, so I've just chucked them in a bucket with some water for tonight, because on the way home the good old alternator belt snapped. We got a co-op 2 miles up the road, giving it a bit of large, and bang, belt snapped. Battery light comes on, also lose power steering. So I've just had to not repair it, but swap cars over to my other one. Luckily I've got a spare car, but the battery's shagged, so I had to change battery, jump start it. But it's been a weekend of, or a week of aggravation and hassle, and you know. Last week I was on holiday, which sort of ended off with my godfather's funeral, so that sort of put pay to Friday, so everything got pushed back a day, and bits and pieces, and bank holiday Monday, as we already know, was a typical English August bank holiday. It pissed down rain. So, last week wasn't great. This week I got the fridge home, as you can see, in that little dark and shadow opening. That's the fridge. But as you can see, it's not in here. All was far from straightforward. It wouldn't go in the van upright, so we had to lay it on its side. That wasn't too bad because we've got a forklift at work. We had to lift it out the van this end, carry it down the driveway, and then it wouldn't fit through the gate. So we had to shove it in front of my van on the drive to try and make it less obvious. Then I had to get my son yesterday while I was at work to take the gate off and take all the framework off, and we literally had 5 mil each side to get the gate through, to get it through the gate even. We got it through the gate, but then he's got his Nissan drift car that he's building, which is underneath my gantry crane. So between the edge of the gantry crane and the wing of his car is about 70 centimetres. The fridge is 72. So then we had to move all the stuff and bring the crane out to get it round to the front of the car, then push the crane back, then get it round onto the patio, which is where the footage is that you saw at the start of the video. Because, as I mentioned, it's 70 something, 76 I think, and and the door was 74. The only problem is the door behind that camera is 72. If I remove the door from the frame, it will literally slide through with a fag paper either side. We hope. So come next week, there might be a fridge in here, or it might not. So Frank, you might get a chance at getting it yet, because unless I build a bigger shed with double doors. No, that's an idea. Anyway, the fridge is here, but it ain't in. So that will give me 2,000 litres of refrigerating space. Eventually, maybe, possibly. So, that was Monday night and Tuesday night's hassle getting the fridge in, or as far as it's got, and tonight was alternator belt snapped and running out of time. Because the good old English summer is coming to an end and the evenings are getting dark earlier, so my shiny doesn't shine so much. I had another sight glass turn up. This one, it does come supplied with the 1/2" nut and the O-ring. It's one of those rebaited or recessed lock nuts. I forgot to bring me other hardware in. I've managed to get me some other bits that, but there is a recess there. I'm sure some of you are familiar with them, so that an O-ring can seat in the edge, which is that little one on the end there, and then you've got your silicone washer and then a standard stainless steel washer, which I'm still waiting to turn up from Ching Chong. I have the other hardware bits, haven't shown them, they're still in the house, I forgot about them, so guess what I'll be featuring next week. Anyway, yeah, so we've got the second sight glass. You can see the first one, which was actually a little bit more money, but that's only because I wanted it quick. Comes without. And they also assemble theirs, but it's only a screw tight bit of PTFE on tape. So I'll have to redo it again, but it's exactly the same fitting. So we've got the two sight glasses sorted. So I'll find somewhere to put them. So I've got to move all this shelving out of the way to get that bloody fridge in. And we did get a J-Lo, or as we know in the trade, a false bottom. That came with the sight glass. We're still pending a few other bits, mainly just the washers at the minute, and some non-brewing related, beer related signage. My claim is still ongoing for the valves. It's been escalated and they've ruled in my favour, but you then got to supply another bit of evidence and wait for the other person to respond before they'll refund you your money in case they want a counter dispute or refute whatever you've said. Some whole bollocks anyway. But yeah, so that's it. Some more shiny stainless steel shit. Unless you already watched Facebook, you know I've already put it up. But yeah, so it's time for the weigh-in of the hop crop. As you saw, my other little hops have done a little bit, not a lot. There is sort of literally a cup full of Styrian Goldings and an even smaller, an egg cup full of probably Cascade. And my wild hops, ironically, which are the same variety as the ones down here in a box, which you'll see shortly, which were the ones on the gate, are minuscule, about the size of my fingernail. That's how big my fingernail is. Right, so let's get this scale zeroed in. Oh, this is 1.5 kilos. Hang on. Serious shit this is, I've got to put my glasses on. But the old eBay scales are dusty, they've been used for a while. Right, so the old Royal Mail scales are zeroed in. And we'll see what these little bad boys are like. I sort of choice picked the best ones, the rest of them I just binned in the skip. Some of them were a little small, underdeveloped and a little bit juvenile. They weren't, they don't get the sun because there's a big clump of them. And they're a little bit green and soft still, so I only sort of picked the harder ones. So the idea is I've de-stalked most of this. What we don't want is too many twigs and leaves. We just want the cones. So if you've got long stalks, trim them down a little bit. Oh, it smells nice. Right, so there we have our hoppage. Hop stew. What have we got? We have got, bang on, half a kilo, 500 grams of the pungent little mathers. Is a good one. Right, so the idea is we weigh them because we need to lose, during the drying, about 80% of the weight by moisture. Somewhere back on my archive of videos, there is one from 2 years ago I think, where I made some racks up which I shall be using tomorrow because I haven't got time in it. To make a little bit of room, and I shall put these out. Now I know that they weigh 500 grams. I'll put them on the drying rack in the shed with no windows because the two enemies are oxygen and daylight. Obviously you've got to have them in here to dry, but once they get past that point, that's when they start degrading. So we'll dry them and reweigh them. So where are we? It's Wednesday now. I will probably give them a little toss on Friday and weigh them Saturday, Sunday, see what they're like, and probably Sunday, Monday, if they've lost enough weight and dry, I will vac pack them Monday, Tuesday night and try and fit them in the freezer. Oh, smells slightly lemony. Still no idea what variety they are or crossings. They are fertilised though. Bug crawling in it. They do, when you open them up, I'll see if I can show you, where you get your lupulin right down on the leaf, if it shows and focuses, you can see the little yellow pollen, your lupulin, and then there's the little sac. Not one in that one, but some of them contain a tiny little seed, which is where all the ones in the shingle car park come from, because obviously last year's crop dried up and blew around in the wind, and some of them obviously germinated in the shingle. Obviously if these ones, or the little plants out, if any of them are male, they can cross-pollinate the Cascade and Styrian next year, and we could get some kind of wild hybrid. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see next year, see what all the other little ones do, if they make it through now in the winter and next spring. But that's it. It's going to be the last haul from the house because the house is finished and my job there is done by the end of this week. So that will be the last harvest from the old site. We're just down to my home crop, which is a bit late this year. You can see the difference because it's exactly the same plant growing. I mean, that's a 3-year plant. And mine are tiny. And it's exactly the same plant. And they're like that. So it obviously shows you nutrients in the soil and soil types, because there's just like sand over there and heavy clay here. So it looks like I should have to be, well, I'm going to leave them ones in the fence, just really as a decorative thing. But concentrate on obviously the brewing varieties, and probably put some out the back here along the riverbank. and some sycamore trees. I've got some shoots that were growing, and all my conifers are dead down the back here and gone. So I might plant a few in there just to help the bank stabilise. Or destabilise, who knows, but obviously with a sycamore you can keep chopping it down and it grows back, so we can keep them managed. I'm waffling now. Let's go and watch another video. See you next week. Cheers.